Hey everyone, how are we all doing? Let's just turn the volume down so it's not echoey. Right, okay. Have we got any new people here today? I feel like some of these names are new. Um, yes, we are live, guys. We're live. Right, let me share the screen so you guys can see. There we go. So this was the account that I actually thought I lost the other week when it was red folder news. I was in a trade and I was at break even and completely forgot about it, and it did well, I thought that, but actually this was the account that I only had one trade on. So luckily I wasn't in any trade during the red folder news where I got wicked out. I'm going to be using this account, getting us back into profit. But yeah, it's a really, really interesting spot actually, because I've been waiting all day for some sort of real direction. So I feel like gold at the moment can be a little bit up and down to trade. So something that I've definitely learned is when gold is playing like this, play it safe. Make sure you are going break even at 1 to 1. Make sure you're taking profits out, because this is what I'm finding. I always like to aim for a 1 to 2. And a lot of the time, I don't actually go break even. And this is where my trade will hit a 1 to 1, and then it may change and go the other way. So if we just have a quick look here. So this is a 4-hour trend line. So if you guys are new to trend lines, the trend lines that I like to trade are the 4-hour and the daily. I use the 1 hour as an entry zone, and just understanding, people ask about fake outs. The 1 hour gives me a good indication whether or not it's a fake out or it's something that we would want to trade. Um, but yeah, I'll kind of go through everything with you guys today, and as I go along, I'll keep checking the comments and see if we've got any questions. We're also going to be doing a giveaway as well today, so make sure you stay here till the very end, because last time I called out like 3 people and they weren't here, so they didn't get their free account. So make sure you stay to the end and make sure we're sharing, liking the live, because yeah, the 3 people that are going to be chosen probably are going to be the most active people, because I literally just choose at random someone in the comments. So close my eyes and just choose someone at random. I just swing it up and down. So yeah, stay active. And if you guys got any questions, please feel free to ask questions. Okay, so Kian, oh yes, I have seen you here a lot of the time, which is amazing. Um, Gold, like I said, gold is a little bit, it can be a bit tricky. Okay, so yes, so I'll explain to you guys in a second. Yes, I actually caught a sale today. It looks like we could be potentially getting a breakout of a 4-hour here, which is interesting. We have literally just broken a lot of structure on the 1 hour. So let's just go and break this down for you guys. I'm praying my internet doesn't play up today and we get really, really good fast signal. Okay, so first things first, let's just go through the whole strategy. Trend lines is something that I love to trade, but because I trade the 4-hour and the daily trend line, and I prefer trading the breakouts rather than the bounce off trend lines, we don't get our setups as often. So this is why I personally like trading trending markets, because if the breakout is the start of the trend, then what I will then do is trade the continuation using market structure and just top down analysis, which we'll go through today. So right now I actually took this out from gold. Let me have a look. Guys, let me know if I'm lagging at all. I feel like soon as I actually stop moving the charts, it always starts to lag. Okay, but yes, I keep it very, very simple, guys. This is the thing with trading. I find that so many people like to really, really complicate the process, which then makes us feel confused, which then leads to losses and whatnot. Like, I definitely am a big advocate of just keeping it as simple as possible. Also, guys, I just want to let you know, ThinkCapital have been very, very generous, and I would love to share a discount code with you guys. It's DoeyFX 30, and that's for 30% off all challenges. So if you are thinking of getting a funded account, please use the code DoeyFX30. The more of you guys that use it, the more kind of discounts we can get, which is great. And I'll also enter you into also a free giveaway for anyone that does use my code. So I'll see if someone can. Yeah, we've got someone who has pinned my my discount code. So yeah, if you guys can show the support, then we can get more discounts. um but yeah, ThinkCapital are great. Oh, hey, I can see all my familiar faces. We're all here. Great to have you guys here. Okay, so let's go through strategy, especially for those who are brand new. I want to show you guys how I trade. You can do what you want with it, go away, back test it. It's, some of the oldest tricks in the book, but I like to keep it very simple. So, first things first, when I come on the charts, I like to always draw up my 4 hour and my daily. 4 hour and your daily trend lines are always going to be quite similar. So this trend line here is actually when it becomes steep like this, I actually do make them even steeper. So we had this one here, which we had a breakout and then it pushed up again. And then because it then continued up, I actually just, oh gosh, what's going on here? Okay. Then I actually moved this out like this. And then we had a really nice break up here. So right here would have been an area where a lot of people would have been maybe caught out when they're trading this trend line strategy. But if I show you something here, guys, so I'm going to highlight this so then we can see it when we drop down. So we had a little breakout here, but if we drop down to the 1 hour and start to see what's happening on the 1 hour, we got a breakout. We got this breakout, which is great. It did, and to be honest, this would have been pretty valid, but at the end of the day, like the trend lines are very, very subjective. So for some people, they may not have even had that trend line there. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I feel like it's going a little bit slow again. Let's just make sure this is fully. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. So yeah, we had this breakout here. And we may have been able to catch something. So this isn't actually a great example because as soon as we break out here, we can enter our trade. And basically what we use is the trend line as our safety line. So it did push down, but then it did completely reject. So, we can't win every single trade. And to be honest, this trade may have actually just been a break even trade. So we wait for it to break out. We double check to make sure that we've actually broken structure. So we've broken all of these lows here on the 1 hour, showing us that we are, supposedly moving down. But the only reason maybe, you would have been but even on the 4 hour there, even on the 4 hour, it's looking very bearish. We end up breaking this low here. Couldn't really break above these highs here, maybe just a little bit, but it was a little bit of consolidation. And this was, to be honest, when gold is looking like this on the 4 hour, I would personally advise to stay away from it. So any types of like consolidating markets where we're breaking one low here, we're then breaking this high, so we're literally just consolidating. It's breaking the rules on either end. So with this trade, I remember it very clearly. I actually stood down for this reason, but I can see why someone would have taken it, because we broke out of this trend line. We also broke that structure, but like I said, very risky when we are in a consolidating market. The whole point in trend lines and trading market structure is when we're trending. And I know we were in a big upwards trend, but we need a break clearly one or two ways. But yeah, so this is how we would have had it. We would have had our kind of stop loss just on the other side of this trend line. We've also got this kind of downwards trend line like this as well, which you can then make sure your stop loss is on the other side of this counter trend line. So your 1 to 1 would have been here, which it would have hit. So if you would have gone break even at 1 to 1, taken profits, you would have, been in a safe trade. And this is what I'm finding with gold at the moment, because I always love trading my 1 to 2s. When I trade my 1 to 2s, but don't go break even at 1 to 1s, we can see a reversal happening. And guys, I want to just go over something very, very quick with your mindset. So obviously this trade would have happened. You may have either not gone to break even at 1 to 1, or you may have come out at break even, got some profits. But whatever the case is, this is what really determines a good trader, how you deal with the situation. So I always say that, trading is very much a reflection of life in general. And a lot of people struggle to, something bad happens and they really let it get to them, and then they're in this negative headspace for the rest of the day and they can't see anything that's good. So, just because you got it wrong, we broke out of this trend line, but we then had this counter trend line, and then we broke out of that and then we broke out of this trend line as well. So we can, you can always see good and bad sides. And also we literally, if you were to just wait for this breaker structure here, so I'm just going to get rid of this so you guys can see it clearly. Like I said, we're back out break even, we get a break onto the other side, really struggling to, we're now created a higher low on the 1 hour. And if we then quickly have a look here on the 4 hour, let's see. So we can see here the 4 hour, this candlestick pattern is, lovely. We're getting an engulfing candlestick on the 4 hour. It does break out slightly. We're getting wicks on the bottom end, a lot of rejection on the bottom end. Drop down to that 1 hour. If you want to play it safe, you wait until the structure's broken, which would have been up here. Okay, you're not going to get as good of an entry. So you just got to make sure your lot size is correct and everything. But again, we're just using this. Let's just put the counter trend line on the other side again. So we can literally just put this on this side. I mean, you would have barely got any drawdown. And let's see where, our 1 to 1 is there. Go break break even, and then there we hit our 1 to 2. So the whole point of that little story was just because you may have got something wrong once, and I've been a big, culprit of this, where you get something wrong or it doesn't go fully your way, or like I said, if you didn't do break even at 1 to 1, you took a loss, it then puts you in this headspace of, great, I've got a loss, and it's all negative, and then you actually just miss out on clear opportunities that usually happen pretty much straight after. So, like I said, I love the trend lines because they work really, really well, but I only like to take the breakouts on the 4 hour. I use the 1 hour for my entries and my safety lines. So I'm just going to check the messages and the comments now to see if we've got any questions. Um, I feel I could see in the corner of my eye there was loads of comments, so I wanted to make sure I actually see if see what the questions are. Okay. Hey Bashi, it's good to see you. It does. I feel like we're getting a lot of comments of these free accounts, but it's great, guys. I'm glad that you guys are here. Do you trust trend lines more on higher time? Absolutely. I don't trade trend lines on the lower time frame. When I purely used to just trade trend lines, I would find trend lines on the lower time frame were just not as reliable. But it's not to say they don't work, but we're all very different people, we see the markets in very different ways. I think the constant change of movement on the lower time frame, it was just confusing me so much, so I ended up feeling like I couldn't trust the lower time frame trend lines. But yes, sniper entries after breakouts. Yeah, exactly. So the breakout is, the start of a new trend, which is why I really like it. And then this is where once that start of the new trend happens, this is where you can then get your continuations and that market structure trade. Yes, so that's I'm Chuck Woodall you, James. I am not sure you have the longest YouTube name ever. But yes, so it's definitely, like I said, support and resistance massively makes a difference if you want to avoid the fake outs. So like I said, even though this trade here, this sell trade here, it didn't really go to plan, you didn't get your 1 to 2, we broke out for 4 hour, which really you are expecting a bit of a bigger move. But then again, it's not a full, it's not completely it's not like a full 4 hour breakout, because it's a steeper one. So the 4 hour trend line actually was this blue one here, so I'm just going to highlight this one. This blue one here was just that steeper trend line, so we can still, it's very valid for it to not start coming all the way down, because actually we're still overall in this very much upwards trend line. So let me just show you guys now. Okay, so like I said, you can then see this is a bit of a fake out there. So we either leave it and it basically comes back in, but again, it's all very subjective, so you got to do and see what works for you. I wouldn't have really put this, I mean, you could, but we got the trend line right there. So really, if you're going to trade this, then you need to, and this was around news anyway, but I'm going to tell you why I was in sales here anyway. But let's just continue here. Let's get rid of this so then you guys can see. And then I'm going to start with the structure and that continuation pattern that I like to trade once we get of the trend. Always like to trade by. Okay. Back test an old trick, but works every time. Yes, exactly. But a person can trade gold using 1 to 8. Yes, so there are going to be positions where you're getting a 1 to 8. It's all very dependent. Gold is its world of its own. No, there are quite a lot of people in here, but it's good. Can you even get gold is literally the easiest. Gold is good because you're constantly getting you're getting a lot of opportunities. To unlearn and remove those your own fears. Yes, we'll do a little bit of mindset stuff as well, because I feel like that definitely helps a lot of us just to really ground ourselves and remind ourselves what we need to be doing daily. 1-to-1 RR. Okay, I'm just scrolling through to see if there's any specific questions. Bad habits equals bad trade equals revenge trading. Exactly that. So a little something that I want you guys to remember. Trading is all about habits. If you have bad habits in real life, I guarantee you're going to have them in trading. The way that you do one thing is the way that you do everything. So a lot of the time people always asking me, like, how do I get better with certain things? If you actually take your attention away from trading for 2 seconds and actually focus on what you can control consciously, you end up finding that the way that you trade is actually the way that you do a lot of things, and how your mindset is with a lot of things. I'm in profit already. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Kian, for sharing my code. Okay, so candlestick. Yes, candlestick closure is everything. Thank you so much for sharing the lives as well. Really, really means a lot for the support. I'm just reading through to see. Okay, so I'm not a swing trader. As much as I would love to be a swing trader, I'm definitely more of a day trader. I trade mainly just commodities. So I trade gold, I like copper, silver, and I also like NQ as well. So we'll have a little look at NQ. Okay, so I don't feel like we've got I think gold is definitely sustainable if you can learn to basically know when not to trade gold. And I'm not perfect. I definitely still like during this period, like sometimes I forget, and I'm actually going to reorganize my trading route, and I'm a very visual person, so I've actually got ADHD, and this means that we're constantly one of the things is we're constantly looking for external things to indicate for having reminders everywhere. It seems very simple to remember not to trade during consolidation, but when we're in that zone where we're like, okay, we trade, we then forget some really, really basic things. So let me explain to you guys just simple, just really, really simple here. And just, when we get these continuation trades. So let's start from the top. To be honest, let's not start from the top, because obviously we had this huge wick during the rate cuts the other day, which was very, very interesting, because I feel like a lot of people thought gold was instantly going to go up, and I do believe gold is going up, but we're gonna get a lot of liquidity on the way down before we can go up. So I don't know if any of you guys were trading became president. It honestly dropped so much so fast, and then once it stopped, it has never come down since. So I still feel like gold is going to go up, even though we've seen this kind of bearish momentum. And I was looking on the monthly, the weekly, and we still haven't created a high. I think on the monthly we haven't created a high for over a year. So it's been very, very bullish in gold. Um, okay, so we're gonna now just break down market structure for you guys so you can understand this side of the strategy as well. Okay. Oh, is it working? Are we back? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. So sorry. I don't know what this is all about. You can see me. Okay, brilliant. Let's hope when I share my screen, we don't end up we don't end up losing signal again. I'm definitely going to look into this. I'm really sorry for the technical difficulties. But yeah, we were just about to go through Guys, please don't spam the comment section too much because I want to make sure I can actually answer any serious questions, because I'm here to actually help you guys trade. As much as I know you all just want the free account, there's no point just getting a free account for the sake of it if you're um if you are still unsure on how to trade. So okay, we're back, we're live, everything's good, you guys can see me. Okay, let's go through this because we've literally just had it's not a 4-hour breakout. Like, this is my only issue, because this candle still has like 2.5 hours. Well, closes yeah, about 2.5 hours left. So it's a bit risky if you like trading the 4-hour breakout. It's technically not a 4-hour breakout, but we have seen here that we have had a 1-hour breakout. So again, if you want that better entry, you can take this as we've broken structure. Those people who were saying when we're doing trend line breakouts, we've broken structure here. Let's see where our 4-hour, on the 4-hour as well, we have a lot of bullish structure now. Just giving it a second, guys, so I can just Okay, I think we're back again. The internet is definitely not liking me today. That is on my to-do list for sure. Okay, amazing, guys. So we're back again. Really, really first. Yes, we are back again. We are back. Trying our absolute hardest here. I don't know what is going on with the signal today. It's crazy. Yes, there's definitely something going on with the technical problems on my end. I think it is. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, so all I can do is apologize, guys. But yeah, like I said, we are literally looking like we are about to break out of this 1 hour. Technically, it's a 1 hour trend line. It's also a 4 hour, but we don't have that 4 hour break until it's actually broken. But let's just have a look here. I'm just going to show you what market structure trading is. So, if we weren't even taking into consider trend lines right now, and we had a look at this structure here. So we broke down, we created a little bit of structure here. This is all on the 4 hours. So I like to go off the 4 hour bias. So we broke structure, which now indicates to me that we could be potentially reversing. But again, we literally have a trend line right here. So it wouldn't be unusual for us to get to this trend line, then to reject. But if we have a little look here we start breaking down the time frames now. So we end up getting this extension to the upside, giving us that indication that we could potentially be looking for a buy area. We then wait for this 4 hour high to be created, which is basically like an area of resistance in this case because it's a high. So this is our new 4 hour high here. So now, if we were to drop down on the 1 hour and to start seeing what is happening on the 1 hour, we got this consolidation. So this is the second part now to this type of trading. We are looking for our buy position. So as soon as the 1 hour turns back to being bullish, and this is what's happened here, it broke above these two structure points, it broke out that consolidation. We also broke out of a trend line. So really, I could have entered. We could have entered here, but my internet's been all laggy and slow, and it's not really. It's now that would be nearly like 30 pips into profit already. But what we can trade is now market structure. So what we want is the extension to finish. Once the extension is finished, and how we know the extension is finished is that we create a 1 hour high. When we get to that 1 hour high, we can then drop down again to the lower time frames. So I don't think obviously on this live stream we would be able to trade it, because it really does take patience, and it would just be a little bit, for me, this would have been your entry. Your stop loss needs to be, it's well, to be fair, we have a counter trend line here. So our lowest point, counter trend line, it's still quite a long way, but this is a little bit more of a high risk type of trade if you were to take it, just because it's so far away from the trend lines. But the trend lines is what keeps you safe. That's your safety. So we got to make sure that we have the correct lot sizes when we take these trades. Your 1-to-1 is literally there. So that is at this high over here. Let's have a little look, which I definitely can see it getting up to, because, price likes to react when we get to highs and lows. So on the 1 hour, and that's where we would be taking this trade from, basically, we aim for these kind of areas. So I definitely feel like I can see it coming up here. But yeah, it will be interesting, because Now, I guess some people would, again, it depends what type of trader you are, but some people may trade the extension. So that would mean you drop down to the 15-minute. You got this breakout here, which again, for me, isn't, it's like, I don't personally want to trade the extension. I would rather the 1 hour create its high and then for us to enter on the pullback. So if you guys don't understand the extension and the pullback, let me just show you here what I'm talking about. So right now we are currently in the extension. So when we're moving in an uptrend, this is what was happening. We are in the extension. Once that extension is over, so the 1 hour will create an area of resistance, and then it will start to pull back, and this is where we now want to be entering to then be getting this position here. So that continuation model. So even on the 15-minute, if you wanted to play it on the 15-minute, we had our 15-minute high here. So now let's drop down to our 5-minute, because what we'll see is the 5-minute pulling back. And then as soon as we, break structure here, it gives you that actually that same point. So let's just see how this plays out, guys. So yeah, that would be your entry point. And to be fair, if you're then playing this on the 5-minute, we can have our stop loss here. But does that make sense to you guys? Market, guys, just wait. Sorry, guys, I'm literally just reading some of these comments. The thing is, Kian, it is simple. It's just scary to think it's that simple. For me, oh, okay, so you we could have definitely, this would have been a really, really nice trade to take. I feel like with all the stuff going on with my internet, it's completely thrown me off my ball. But this is what I want you guys to see. I want you guys to understand the way that I trade, and then for you guys to actually see it play out. Like I said, we're not always going to be right, but there's a lot of things in this, in this particular trade. But for me, because I don't like personally trading the extension, my stop loss would have to be relatively big for this trade. It would have to be on the 1 hour, which is where initially I would be kind of taking the trade, because even though, like I showed you, we could actually take this based off the 15-minute and go a little bit, have a smaller stop loss. It's just all about, the way you prefer to trade. And like I said, for me, I prefer to trade the pullback. So I wouldn't personally enter off the 15-minute until we've got the 1 hour pullback happening. So, that's again just my preference. It all as well depends on how aggressive the market's moving. And I wouldn't really say it's like that aggressive. So, sometimes when we're in the all-time highs and it's just flying, and you can trade the extension because the lower time frames are giving you what you need. But in this case, we're kind of like bouncing around a little bit. It's not exactly the greatest volume. But if we could create a high here, so if this next candle could actually close red, then this is where I'd actually be interested. Because if this could close red, we can now, you see this pullback here, and you don't want to take your buy up here. But like I said, because of that 4-hour break, kind of trend line trade, the 1 hour breakout, you could take it in the extension, but you just have to be wary that you may go into drawdown. You have to be able to cope with that. Comment. Just reading some of the comments now. I'm just trying to scan through to see if we've actually got any questions. So Princess Rachel, why didn't I take it? So originally, I guess like for me, it's I would want to take this on the pullback. I want to take my buys, but I want to take it on my pullback because I prefer taking a 4-hour breakout on the 4-hour. It's not closed yet, so we could take this, and we have to take it, but make sure our stop loss is basically like this big. This is the thing with trendline trades. Like, you have to then make sure your stop loss is back on the other side of the trend line. Whereas for me, where it broke out so much, it would be a lot safer and easier for me to actually just wait for the pullback to happen. And that will happen once that 1 hour Okay, I think we're kind of back, or was that just super, super delayed? Yes, we are back, but super, super delayed. Okay, guys, I am gonna just do the giveaway because the internet connection is obviously really, really not wanting to play ball today, which is fine. Next week we'll have it sorted and it will run all smoothly. But I want to thank you guys for being patient and sticking around. But yeah, let's do the giveaway. I'm gonna choose three people at random. Obviously, if you're not on the stream, then we will just move it on to the next person. But yeah, next week we'll make sure that this is sorted. But yeah, thank you so, so much for your patience today. Really, really do apologize because I know how frustrating it is. Okay, so I am literally just going to pick our first winner now. Okay. Oh, okay, we've got our first winner. It's Kian. Oh, that's amazing. Kian Nils. Yes, I hope you are here because you are one of the regulars. Kian Nils, that is our first winner. Make sure you message me on Instagram, Kian. It's just Doey Trades, and then we can get your account all set up and sent over to you. Okay. Right. Our next winner. Okay, right. There's no point going mental, guys, because it's literally just tripping up the whole thing. So let me just do that again. Can't even. There we go. Okay. Oh, amazing. I can't. The guy that I can never actually remember how to say the name. Beginning with S. I'm literally just typing it in now. Beginning with S. I've actually seen you here a lot as well, so it's great to actually have you here. Sacromi. Okay, let's see if you are still here. Are you still here? You guys can't see because everyone's commenting now. Why do you have to have such a difficult name? And I can't even click it because you guys are just spamming it. Yeah, I can't even see, guys. I can't see if you are responding because too many people are just spamming it. It's not gonna actually do anything by spamming. Yes, there you are. Sacrimony. There, you're still there. You're still there. Okay, amazing. Last winner. Okay, let's have a little look. So I'm gonna give it to, there we go. Tony. We've got a Tony. Tonnie. Tony, are you still here? Because if you're not, then we have to give it to someone else. Oh, Naveen, by the way, you won last time, but you weren't here. So I had to give it away to someone else. Tony, I literally just saw you in the comments, so let me know if you're still here. Let me see where you are. Tonnie. Tonnie. Yes, You're still there. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today and being patient with me. I really, really appreciate you all. And yeah, next week, guys, I promise we are going to make sure this runs a lot more smoothly. Um, but yeah, you guys are brilliant. But yes, winners, I will get your accounts issued to you. If you could just drop me a message on Instagram, just Doey Trades. I think there's a lot of fake accounts, so just make sure it is the correct one, because I do have a blue tick to make you guys aware that that is my only account. So just Doey Trades on Instagram, drop me a message. We'll get everything sorted. But I'm going to love and leave you guys. I hope you have the most amazing weekend. And I will see you all next week.